going on, everybody? It's the France, and we are here for NXT Takeover Philadelphia preview and predictions. We have 5 matches to go over, and it's going to be an interesting card. 4 of these matches were built pretty heavily over the last few weeks. We have Andrade Cien versus Johnny Gargano in the main event, Adam Cole versus Aleister Black in an Extreme Rules match, Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship, the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, as known in the Indies as Red Dragon, versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team Champions, in a match that was named last night, or yesterday in the afternoon, before NXT went on the air. We have Cassius Ohno versus the Velveteen Dream, which has no build. I guess there was a video after NXT went off the air where Velveteen Dream was coming back to the backstage area. He runs into Cassius Ohno. Cassius pretty much said, it wasn't as easy as you thought. He says, and then the Velveteen Dream says, I still look good, better than you, and Cassius Ohno just shoves him and walks off. So that's all the build you have for this match. So this match is just a throw-in match. They wanted to have 5 matches, so this match, I'm going to say, is going to be won by the Velveteen Dream. Cassius Ohno is in that put other guys over spot in his career. He was, if anyone does remember, Cassius Ohno was a member of the original NXT before we got NXT as you know it today on the WWE Network. He was there back when, between the game show version and the WWE Network, he was there. They fired him for being not in WWE shape, but then Kevin Owens helped break that mold, having to have like a 6-pack abs and everything, and he was brought back eventually, and he's just pretty much there to put people over. In good matches, mind you, but put people over like Johnny Gargano, like Aleister Black, like a Velveteen Dream, like a Roderick Strong, Cesar Bononi, and others. So Cassius Ohno versus Velveteen Dream. Not much build here, so we're going to have Cassius Ohno taking the pinfall to the Velveteen Dream in what should be a pretty good match, but since they threw it together last minute, that's all I have for that match. Then you have the Undisputed Era's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Authors of Pain. If anyone remembers at NXT TakeOver, this feud goes all the way back to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, where after the Authors of Pain lost the tag team titles to Sanity, the Undisputed Era came out and pretty much laid waste to both teams and made the presence known that they were coming for the NXT Tag Team Championships. They ended up winning the NXT Tag Team Championships from Sanity late last month, where they took, with the help from Adam Cole and the distraction from Nikki Cross, they ended up winning the NXT Tag Team Championships in a pretty good match. The Authors of Pain, of course, last week beat the Street Profits to earn themselves a shot at the NXT Tag Team Championships. Well, I honestly think this match is going to be, of course, the Undisputed Era is going to win. They're going to keep the tag team titles. They're keeping them warm for a new team coming in War Machine, who are going to be, I have a feeling War Machine, I don't know, I've never seen Hanson and Rowe as a heel team. I've only seen them as a baby face-ish team in Defiant Wrestling or What Culture Wrestling and Pro Wrestling, and that's it. I don't know exactly how these guys work as a heel team, but I could see them come in, screwing the Authors of Pain out of the match, and there's talk of the Authors of Pain staying around till New Orleans to take on the War Machine at NXT TakeOver New Orleans, which in my opinion, you can take my money now. I'm looking forward to that. Then we have Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship, and Shayna Baszler made her debut 3 or 4 weeks ago by coming out and pretty much laying out Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane came out after a match between Ember Moon and I believe it was Sonya Deville, swirling her periscope and just bending over and looking and saying, I want the NXT Women's Championship, without having to say it. Shayna Baszler came up behind her and just choked her out. Haven't seen Kairi Sane since. Word on the street is, and word from Dave Meltzer and them, is that she's injured and she won't be coming She's like just injured and banged up, which in my eyes, Kairi Sane, this is twice already that she's been injured. Not looking good for Kairi Sane in her WWE career. That she's gone from the Mae Young Classic where she got a concussion by pretty much taking a shot, like taking a DDT or something onto the um ramp, and now she's banged up. She's too banged up to wrestling, so that's like strike 2 on injuries. So in a very short order. So Kairi Sane to be like people wanted to christen her as like a brand new Asuka. Right now, I don't think that's gonna happen because of her injury records just not looking too good. So I see Shayna Baszler winning this match, and this will be the end of Ember Moon as we know her in NXT. She has nothing left to do. She's accomplished everything. She's held down the NXT Women's Division since Asuka left. Her and Asuka were practically mostly the main focus of the NXT Women's Division, besides a little bit of Nikki Cross, who will also be on the pre-show, the pre-taped show for next Wednesday, which will see her take on Lacey Evans, which will probably put Lacey Evans over, and that'll probably be the end of Nikki Cross, and both women of Nikki Cross, Ember Moon, and of course the Iconic Duo will all be in the Women's Royal Rumble on Sunday. So these 4 women are probably going to be on the main roster after this weekend, and I'm looking forward to see what these women do on the main roster. But Ember Moon is going to lose to Shayna Baszler, probably in quick look. Of course, Shayna Baszler made her debut in a match against Dakota Kai. She took him. She was like in a quick short match against Dakota Kai because she pretty much looked like she like really roughed up Dakota Kai's and like really injured Dakota Kai's arm by setting it up and just kicking it a certain way to make it look like she really crushed it. Then she had a match last week against Aaliyah, which she just pretty much dominated her. Oh wait, no, she didn't have a match with Aaliyah. Aaliyah got beat by Lacey Evans. She came out after Lacey Evans was cutting the promo on all the women in the NXT Women's Division. She started talking, and I guarantee the last person she was going to talk about was Shayna Baszler, but Shayna Baszler came out and Lacey Evans walked off, so she went into the ring, choked out Aaliyah, out came Ember Moon for the save. Pretty much not Shayna Baszler, but Ember Moon made the challenge for this match, and we will have Shayna Baszler versus Ember Moon, and of course Ember Moon is going to drop the title to Shayna Baszler, who will hold the title to at least New Orleans, and if Kairi Sane is well enough, it will probably be Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane in New Orleans to decide who will be the queen of NXT for the rest of the year. In which, if Kairi Sane is up to the task and healthy enough and won't be getting injured again, she will probably win it in New Orleans. If not, then Shayna Baszler will win it this week and hold it probably the rest of the year. Then one of the best matches I think of the night will be Aleister Black versus Adam Cole. The first match of the night that I talked about, Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno. This match and the main event can all steal the show. You have Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. This feud started simply by having these two face each other on the week of WWE Week, which was 3 weeks ago, in which the winner of that match went into a Fatal 4-Way. It was actually 4 weeks ago. It was last month. You had these two face off, and the winner went into the Fatal 4-Way to determine the number 1 contendership, which of course was won by Johnny Gargano, who pinned Aleister Black in that match thanks to the Undisputed Era, who came out to stop Aleister Black from winning the match after he hit Black Mass on Lars Sullivan, which you knew they weren't going to have Lars Sullivan get pinned, not yet, if at all, in his NXT career. So basically, Aleister Black beat Adam Cole in that match, gets to the Fatal 4-Way. He's down to the final minutes of the Fatal 4-Way. He has Black Mass hit on Lars Sullivan. He looks to get the pinfall, but quick as a whip, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish pull him out. He fights them off, but Adam Cole comes in, hits an Oshigoroshi on him, and gets him and costs him his first pinfall loss, in which Johnny Gargano wins and goes on to the next thing. Then we had 2 weeks ago, Adam Cole and Roderick Strong teamed up together to take on the Undisputed Era for the Tag Team Championships because before this match was supposed to happen, it was supposed to be Sanity getting their rematch for the championships, but Sanity got beat down. William Regal made the match so that Aleister Black, like Adam Cole's buddies, excuse me, Adam Cole's buddies weren't going to get off easy. So those guys had a pretty decent match. Adam Cole, of course, distracted and pulled and got Aleister Black to take his focus off of the match and onto Adam Cole as he backed away into the crowd and allowed the Undisputed Era to retain their titles. After that match was over, the Undisputed Era, all three members ended up beating down Aleister Black. William Regal, of course, came out, made it an Extreme Rules match, which at first Adam Cole didn't seem too happy about, but then he backed up from William Regal because he came up to him face to face, and and he had a smile on his face, like he can't wait, he can't wait to hurt Aleister Black. Of course, Aleister Black had a promo last week saying he doesn't need weapons to hurt you. He had his body, his limbs, his body is a weapon of mass destruction. He will hurt Adam Cole at NXT Takeover Philadelphia. Now this one, I am a little tossed on how they're gonna do this because Adam Cole and Aleister Black really both don't need a loss here. This one is one that I could see them doing for the NXT Championship if one or the other was to win it. Simply because these guys look like they could be feuding all year long if not both of them get moved up to the main roster before then. But I'm going to probably say Aleister Black's going to win this thing because Adam Cole is just one of those guys that he honestly doesn't need to be in NXT any longer. If they really wanted to bring him up and put him in the Royal Rumble, he would get one of the biggest pops of the night for being a surprise entrant just because Adam Cole is just that damn good. So I think this one's going to come down to because the Tag Team Championship match will be already done. The Authors of Pain and Kyle and the Undisputed Era are going to beat the living tar out of each other. So those guys are probably not going to be able to help Adam Cole take out Aleister Black because it is an Extreme Rules match and anything can go. So I think Aleister Black in a very brutal match. This match could be one of the three show stealers in this night. So I'm going to say Adam Cole wins this match in not a total dominant fashion, but in one of those matches where it could go either way. Then we have the main event, Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano, NXT Championship on the line, singles match. I am going with Johnny Gargano in this match, but how did we get here? This goes all the way back, I believe, to NXT Takeover, what was it? They had a main event. I know they wrestled twice because Cien Almas is 2-0 against Johnny Gargano. They had a match at Takeover Brooklyn to open that show, and that was a spectacular match. Let's see here. Oh yeah, on December 6th episode of NXT, General Manager William Regal announced this series of matches, which included Cassius Ohno versus Johnny Gargano, who replaced the Velveteen Dream, Aleister Black versus Adam Cole, Killian Dane versus Trent Seven, and Roderick Strong versus Lars Sullivan. Took place to have the winners of the 4 matches go into a fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT Championship. The winners were Gargano, Dane, Black, and Sullivan, who fought in the aforementioned fatal 4-way match on December 27th episode of NXT, which Gargano won after Black was distracted by the Undisputed Era, granting him a match with Andrade Cien Almas at NXT Takeover Philadelphia. Let's see here. December 6th, Aleister Black beat Adam Cole. Okay, that one's, yeah. Okay, so, yes. Those four men won. They went to a fatal 4-way on December 27th. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish prevented Aleister Black from winning the match because he took out Adam Cole from the championship title picture for now, and they ended up costing him that, which led to Johnny Gargano hitting a slingshot DDT on Aleister Black, and Aleister Black was pinned for the first time in his NXT career. His single one-on-one streak, undefeated record, is still intact, but his overall undefeated streak is not. Now, they have to have this one. They have to do the right thing. This one is that one time they have Johnny Gargano. They've had this storyline built up perfectly. Johnny Gargano, back in NXT Takeover Chicago, his heart was ripped out. Him and Tommaso Ciampa, who made up DIY, had everything going for them. These guys were a great tag team together, and at the end of that night, Johnny Gargano was thrown into the set and pretty much laid out by Tommaso Ciampa through a table off the announce table, pretty much breaking all the hearts of all the fans of DIY. Until the match against Cassius Ohno, Johnny Gargano went on a losing streak. Johnny Gargano couldn't get over the hump. He kept losing. He got beat at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3 against Andrade Cien Almas due to Selena Vega throwing a DIY shirt at him. He got beat again by Andrade Cien Almas. I believe it was because she did a Hurricane Rana to him. Selena Vega did a Hurricane Rana to Johnny Gargano on an NXT taping, and he ended up she Hurricane Rana him into the stairs. Then he just lost to other people over and over and over. He had great high-profile matches with a lot of guys. He is Johnny Wrestling. He is the closest thing to a Daniel Bryan we have had since Daniel Bryan. It's real. It feels genuine. Would WWE itself be able to produce this type of storytelling right now? No, not WWE itself. The main roster, not at all. Johnny Gargano needs to win this match. I don't care if Tommaso Ciampa is not ready to go yet. He needs to win this match. If he loses this match by any type of tomfoolery or clean as a whistle, or Selena Vega gets involved, they just ruined the biggest storyline they have going right now. Johnny Gargano has to win the NXT Championship at the end of the night. Do you really want Philadelphia, for the first time in NXT TakeOver crowd, to end the night shouting this thing in boos like nothing else before? This has to go one way. They booked themselves into this the right way. It should still happen because Johnny Gargano is that guy, but he needs to win. Then after the match, Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas, they limp off to the back. They'll get the rematch on the next set of tapings, probably, or two, or if they go back to Full Sail. And he'll lose, of course, unless they run him up to the main roster on Sunday. Then the lights go out. After Johnny Gargano's in the ring, he's celebrating. Maybe he has an injury worked on. Like maybe Andrade Cien Almas works on a leg or something. He's tired. He's injured. He looks beat as can be. He has the title up in his hands. The lights go out, and he comes back on. He's laid out. There's somebody standing there in a hoodie with his face down. The hood's over his head. You can't, if they do the camera angle right, and have him positioned right, nobody will see who it is. Will know who it is right off the bat. He raises the NXT Championship's on the floor besides Johnny Gargano on the mat. He picks it up, raises it, pulls the head back, the hood back, and it's Tommaso Ciampa. He doesn't even have to do anything physical. This does the biggest problem that they're having with this, and the word on the street is, if Tommaso Ciampa is not ready, they might not pull the trigger, which would be the stupidest thing ever. They need to pull this. They need to pull this trigger. Have the lights go out. If I can book this and make it sound good, they can do this. Have the lights go out. Have Tommaso Ciampa just come into the ring, because I'm pretty sure he's able to walk, or at least run. Have him hiding, have him have a Sting mask on or something. Have the guy wear a Sting mask. Have him wear some kind of mask so nobody knows who he is. Have him sitting at ringside, or wherever that section of the barricade is that you don't have to jump around, but you can actually walk through. So if he's not able to actually do anything like jumping or anything yet, just have him come around, roll into the ring. The lights are out. He holds it. You see Johnny Gargano down. You see a chair beside him. Just have him go into the ring and lay a chair right beside Johnny Gargano, and just have Johnny Gargano lay down. He's tired, so he's tired from the match. It looks like he got hit by the chair, and the mask is on. If you want to put a mask on to keep his face covered too, that's fine by me. You want to have him have some kind of mask to keep him hidden? Perfect. Just have him come to the ring. Lights go out. Johnny Gargano's laid on the ground, laid out. And after a match like this, he can just fall over, lay down, and just, pull off his vest. I just got myself knocked out from a chair shot without even actually getting hit or something. And then the next thing you know, lights come up. The masked man has the championship and pulls it off, and it's Tommaso Ciampa as the show goes off the air. And boom, there you go. And that's your storyline coming out of NXT Takeover. We need to see Johnny Gargano win this match for the simple fact of Tommaso Ciampa will be back, hopefully for New Orleans. If not, still have Tommaso Ciampa come back. Just have it look like he laid him out. It can be done. That's what turning the lights on are for, is to make it look like he actually attacked him. And then Johnny Gargano goes into New Orleans, and if it's not against Tommaso Ciampa, have him go up against Adam Cole, have him beat Adam Cole, and then by the time Chicago, the place that they broke up, the place that all is, because he'll be back by then, if anything, if you don't want to have a clear-cut finish for Johnny Gargano at New Orleans, if Tommaso Ciampa is not 100% ready by New Orleans, but he's definitely going to be about 100% ready by New Orleans, and you don't have a build to the match, find him a worthy opponent that can't hurt anybody else. Maybe Almas and him have a rematch in New Orleans. You have Tommaso Ciampa come out, screw the match up, and then you build towards Chicago. That's the perfect place. If New Orleans isn't the place to have Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa at New Orleans, at Chicago, Money in the Bank weekend is the perfect place. 1 year plus since they broke up in the same building. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the same building that they broke up. This is where it started. This is where the feud ends, at Chicago. This is what they need to do. If they don't do this and they're like, well, Tommaso Ciampa's not ready and we're just going to have Andrade Cien Almas hold the belt until New Orleans, you're making a massive mistake. Triple H, you've got to do the right thing. I know you're smarter than Vince McMahon. I know what you know to do this, but there's word that there is doubt that they're going to put the title on Gargano, and this all hinges on Tommaso Ciampa being back in time for New Orleans. I'm hoping they do the right thing. So, again, we have Velveteen Dream over Cassius Ohno in a match nobody really knows anything else about. Undisputed Era over the Authors of Pain. Ember Moon will drop the belt to Shayna Baszler, who will hold it till probably New Orleans. Cole will take a black mask to the face. Maybe something else. Maybe Aleister Black has a new move to pull out of his repertoire that we don't see too often. I don't know. I never saw Tommy End on the Indies, so I don't know what else he uses as finishers. And Johnny Gargano over Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship. So 2 out of 3 titles will be changing hands. That is your NXT Takeover Philadelphia preview and predictions. I will be back here tomorrow for WWE Royal Rumble preview and predictions, and we'll be here on Saturday afternoon for our previews and predictions. We have news on the XFL coming back, when it should be coming back. If you want to see the XFL come back, you've got a little bit of time to wait. The Royal Rumble arena for next year has been announced. We will go over all that and more on Saturday. But my name is TheFrance. Find me on Twitter at TheFrance. Thank you all for watching my videos so far. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win all 5 of these matches. And I cannot wait for Saturday. We will be here right after the show goes off the air, going over each and every one of the matches and how awesome they were or how disappointing the ending was, depending on what they do at the end of TakeOver. Until then, my name is TheFrance.